Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor Extreme World Alarm. You can see this titanium and stainless steel world time alarm watch on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of this screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with extra photos, accessories included, and of course, complete pricing details. There's also a link to our website, watchyouwant.com, in the description field below. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this watch is frankly massive. Conceived in the early 2000s and launched in 2005, it was effectively Jaeger-LeCoultre's response to the Audemars Royal Oak family and the success enjoyed by that series. But because it is Jaeger-LeCoultre, it has a completely original aesthetic and mechanical way of answering its challenge from Le Brassus. Now the watch has an impressive size, 47 millimeters across the round of the case. That doesn't include the world time adjustment crown. It doesn't include the alarm on-off toggle. It doesn't include the compressor crowns. And the watch is pretty thick, 16.5 millimeters. You can see because of the alarm on-off toggle and the world time reference ring adjuster crown, it will get hung up on a tighter sleeve or cuff. And from lug to lug, it has impressive span, 54.5 millimeters from extremity to extremity. But because it does feature a titanium inner case, the watch has a wieldiness and a lightness on the wrist that's frankly unexpected considering the size. Now the strap is one of the meatiest I have ever encountered, and when I say meaty, I mean meaty. You can see how thick it is with its sheer cut sides. It's immensely built. It has a thickness, a substance that is very impressive. And you can see even the contrasting stitch is double executed. Now down the center, the watch is exceptionally thick in strap as it approaches the lugs, but thankfully, the strap doesn't actually conform to the flanks of the case, so you can bend it straight down around the curve of a smaller wrist. So although a thick and overbuilt strap on a massive watch often spells non-compatibility with a smaller wrist, in this case, I have to say that my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, and I own a version of this watch, and I wear it frequently. So ergonomically, it is outstanding. It does feature JLC's third generation deployant clasp. This was actually their first generation double deployant clasp. It works well on a smaller wrist because it doesn't have the single up and over fold, so it's not as likely to pinch skin or pull on hair. Nicely done, beautifully finished, very effective in practice. But this watch is effectively a treasure trove of complication, and that's its selling point. This watch is an alarm with a double digital setting system. This watch has an on-off alarm function. This watch has a world time function. This watch has quick set, well, rather, it has a quick set date. It has hacking seconds. As you can see, I've stopped the balance and hacked the seconds. Now I return them to motion. And it features a quick release lug system, so you can rapidly cycle between this leather strap and bracelet and rubber strap equivalents that JLC sells interchangeably with this watch. Now the nice thing is, it's a standard 22 millimeter measurement with conventional pin bars, so you don't have to worry about finding some sort of proprietary interlink system as you do with an IWC Aqua Timer or something like a Cartier Roadster. Any 22 millimeter conventional strap with spring bars will work, so you can get a custom done, you can buy aftermarket straps, you can fully accessorize this watch. Now the watch features a complex, nuanced, and finely executed dial. Again, JLC did this its own way. There are some heritage elements that are borrowed from the Polaris 68, but for the most part, the watch is its own machine. You can see the elaborate world time chapter ring around the outer circumference, and you can adjust that rapidly to set your reference city at 6 o'clock. So I'm in Miami, so I'm going to set my reference city as New York, and once you have your local time set at center and your reference time set at 6 o'clock, which is the location of the index, you can then read all of the reference cities that represent the world's 24 principal time zones and know at a glance what time it is in any of these locales with AM-PM distinction thanks to the counterclockwise rotating 24-hour reference ring. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it does have a date. The date does have a quick set function, and the movement underneath this elaborately laid out dial is perhaps one of the most important modern calibers from JLC, not because it was used in a lot of other watches, but because the fundaments of the alarm system were actually baked into the caliber 956 that became the first truly modern alarm caliber that JLC produced. This caliber 912 with 23 joules eventually became the 956 and featured elements like the isolated gong that give the watch its bright, almost school bell sound as opposed to the thumping or cricket sounds of previous JLC Memovox watches. So this was really the watch that changed the sound of the JLC alarm watch in the modern era. Now the movement itself is a work of art. Executed entirely in-house, it features efficient unidirectional winding. You can see the geosphere emblem on the back, proving that it has passed JLC's stringent cased-up 1,000 hours control, a test of chronometry, shock resistance, power reserve, anti-magnetism, and yes, it does last over 42 days in-house. So an exceptionally durable movement. It also has elements of a modern sports watch caliber, being free-sprung for stability, featuring a hairspring of JLC's own design, welded at the stud and the collet by laser, again for stability and resistance to displacement due to shock. The winding system is efficient unidirectional and mounted on unlubricated ceramic bearings for high efficiency, and the watch features a movement with what are known as spire-cut gears, so high-efficiency gear profiles that JLC helped to develop in conjunction with a number of industry partners. But if you just look at the dial, I have to say that this watch essentially tells you everything you need to know about it at a glance. It's complicated. You can tell that from the alarm. You can tell that from the world time function. It's fine. You can tell that from the beautiful polished applied white gold indices, Arabic numerals at 12 and 6, and the broad trapeze style hands at center, also executed in white gold. You can tell that this watch is legible. It glows like a torch at night, and in spite of the massive information, because it has a broad, well spread out dial, these calibrations become second nature. Once you're used to wearing the watch, you become used to reading the watch. Top it all off with JLC's own unique compressor crown sealing system. You can see with a single half turn, I'm able to gain 100 meters, approximately 328 feet of hermeticity. Another half turn, and all of a sudden I have access to all the setting functions of the watch. It's that easy. You can do it when your hands are wet, gloved, or sweaty, and it's a distinctive system that's entirely JLC. Also, because you're not screwing a threaded crown through the seals last longer, simply being compressed and decompressed. You can see this thoughtfully designed, chock full of complications, Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor Extreme World Alarm, and buy it on our website, watchyouwant.com.